Well, tonight was the absolutely thrilling end to part 2 of the final season of The Walking Dead. Leah came back with a vengeance, and she and Maggie were in a battle to the death until Daryl ultimately saved the day and Maggie by taking Leah out. And while our heroes escaped with their lives, Lance Hornsby officially moved in on their communities, making Hilltop, Alexandria, and Oceanside Commonwealth outposts. So how ruthless can Hornsby really be? What will the aftermath be of Connie's expose on the corruption in the Commonwealth? And what's up with the locusts? All these locusts. On tonight's show, we have interviews with the cast, another throwback clip to one of our favorite moments in Talking Dead history, featuring Conan O'Brien that you won't want to miss, plus the exclusive sneak peek of both next week's mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead and the premiere of part 3 of the final season of The Walking Dead. My guests are Josh Hamilton, who of course plays Lance Hornsby, Maggie herself, Lauren Cohan, and the one and only Norman Reedus. Daryl Dixon is here. I'm Chris Hardwick, and this is Talking Dead Live. Oh, it's so great to have an audience and be live again. We're just beginning. We want to hear from you. Tweet us or hit us up on Instagram at AMC Talking Dead. Go to Talking Dead's Facebook page. You can go to twdu.com/deadlive to vote on our polls and make your voice heard. Please say hello to my guests, Josh Hamilton, Lauren Cohan, and Norman Reedus, all here in person. Just like the old days on the show. Norman, we saw, first of all, glad you're okay. Glad you're doing well. It's good to see you here, all in one piece. And also, you got a great tan from riding around.
You know, I was going to wear a suit tonight, and it was either my motorcycle or a suit, and I went motorcycle. But yeah, look at that.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of different sides of Daryl this season. We saw trooper, cop, parent. Can you just talk about all the different aspects of his personality?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun doing different things. And then I guess he did them all at the same time, really. The hardest part was the trooper, because that suit. The suit didn't like me. And, you know, they're all made for these soldiers that are all like 6'3". So mine was like cutting my neck and cutting my knee. And then, you know, Christian and I are like, we come around the corner and look at each other and we're like, you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. But playing the different parts, yeah, it was, you know, it's always, you know, the kids first. So he's doing everything for the kids first. But it's nice to bounce around and play different things.
It is very surreal to say these words out loud, that the Walking Dead production has wrapped. I saw like all the posts. And it's weird, and it's going to be emotional, but I'm kicking it down the field until the fall. But just some reactions for production wrapping. I mean, Panthers fan 85 says, I just want to thank you guys for taking me on one hell of a ride with y'all for nearly 12 years. I've loved every second of it. Kenny3 on Twitter says, end of an era. Thanks to the entire cast, crew, writers, amazing series, epic job. More than well done. And Elena on Twitter says, I can't even explain how much the show has meant to me over the last 11 seasons. I'm letting the love flow to all my Walking Dead family. I mean, it's still, again, still a lot of runway. And I'm just holding on to that fact that time doesn't move as fast as it actually does seem to move. But how are you feeling? Are you okay? How do you feel?
I'm drunk right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, yeah, I tell you when it hit me. Like, I mean, the last night was a big night, and people gave speeches, and there was a lot of tears, and it hit me when I was driving home, because I take a certain route through the woods to get to my house. You know, the sun's about to come up, and I'm pulling down my road, and I'm like, I'm never going to take this route again, you know, and it really hit me there. I don't know, it's a huge accomplishment for all of us, and so I'm really proud of what we've done. And at the same time, I'm going to miss seeing all these faces, you know, not just the cast, but the crew. I don't know, it's bittersweet. Part of me is like, woof, what a relief. And then part of me is like, no. So I'm kind of on both sides of the fence right now.
I mean, it's such a rare thing to happen in television. I was telling you before we started, I have this picture of us from the first time you were on the show, and we both looked 12. You know, like it was so long ago. It's like 11 years ago. And you know, Lauren, you and I started at the same time. You came on season 2. Talking Dead started on season 2. You've been with the show for so long. How are you doing?
It's great. It's really nice to hear Norman talk about it too, because it's such a weird thing to articulate. Like, it's a week ago we left. Maybe it's a little bit more than a week, 9 days or something. And you think, you have kind of, when you're saying kicking it down the field, like, we did that for 22 episodes, and then by episode 23, it's like, it's striking you at the most unexpected moments. Like, we had an episode, and Melissa and Norman and Christian and Seth and myself were all doing a very simple scene, and it was funny and silly, and nobody could get their lines right, and then out of nowhere, that silliness just made me go right. And I was like, wow, this is the stuff that you really miss. It's not you miss everything, but you don't realize the time spent and how much. I don't know to talk about it too much because then I'll get too sappy, but it's hard to explain.
It is, but it just, again, I look back at the last 11 years, I'm like, okay, I think I appreciated every moment as much as possible. You know, right? It's like you're having this whole, like, retroactive experience. But, well, oh, you go, come on.
And you too, Josh, you too.
And it's nice that you've included Lance Hornsby in this love fest. Which, by the way, I'm missing the hair helmet.
Yeah, I didn't have the time. It takes like 6-7 hours to get that done. I didn't have the time today.
This is just some reactions to Lance Hornsby, Josh Hamilton, of course. It's Jamie says Josh Hamilton is phenomenal. Week after week, he delivers these mesmerizing, chilling performances. He's the perfect Lance Hornsby. Queen Jewel says Lance is so creepy, but Josh Hamilton portrays him so perfectly. I love it, honestly. And then Shimmer Shea on Twitter says Josh Hamilton is doing a fantastic job, by the way. So much going on behind his eyes, and not like the fixed, empty stare of a horror movie doll. Wow, it's interesting.
I'll give you your $50 later.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course. So speaking of the signature Josh Hornsby stare, what is it like doing it for the camera?
I didn't realize I had a signature stare until.
He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
No, it's always that thing at the end of scenes, you know, where your people, as actors, since people started shooting things, there's always that, like, what do I do when the camera just sort of ends with me looking at, you know, they get all these different advice, and some people are like, just do a math problem in your head, or like, you know, the classic thing is like, who farted?
Now, you say that, and now every time I see Lance Hornsby, I'm like, he really wonders who just farted. I see the intensity on his face. Coming up, a Talking Dead throwback clip you don't want to miss, plus exclusive sneak peeks of The Walking Dead and Fear. But first, before Max can out-nerd Eugene by reading a physics textbook for fun, let's slow things down and say a final farewell to all those we've lost tonight.